Hey everybody, it's Mr. Chase again with another video about geometry. Okay, make sure that you have your note sheet handy again. If you don't have one, print one off Schoology. And of course, have a writing utensil and your calculator handy. All right, we're gonna go pretty fast today. Hopefully we can cram all this in just a couple of minutes. Today's video is about 2D geometry still, and we're talking about pairs of angles. So if you watched my last video, you learned about angles. You don't need to have watched that to know this, but we're going to talk about pairs of angles today. Let's get into it. Our essential question is going to be this, right? How are angle pairs created? So what has to happen to get a certain type of a pair of angles, okay? And there's two ways to do that, right? You can either get one by location, you can create one by how and where angles are located, and you can also get ones from different size angles, okay? So you can create a pair of angles based on their location to their partner, okay? Like either adjacent angles or vertical angles. Both of those are types of angles that you do. You make pairs according to their location. Size, right? You can create a pair of angles based on their measurement, the measurement of the angles. That would be like congruent angles, complementary angles, and supplementary angles. Now, what you're going to learn today is about these 5 different types. Remember, they're angle pairs, right? So they always got to be matched up with someone else according to their location or according to their size. All right, adjacent angles. That's going to be the first one, according to their location. Adjacent angles are 2 angles that share a vertex and a side. If you remember from anything about angles, the vertex is that starting point down here. They share a starting point, okay? They also share a side. So over here, angles 2 and 3, they have something in common, right? They share this side in the middle. So not only do they have a vertex the same, an end point, but they also share this line. So 2 and 3 are going to be called adjacent angles. Just like 5 and 6. 5 and 6 share that vertex and they share this side, okay? It's sort of like my room and the room next door. We share that wall that splits the two of us, so we would be adjacent classrooms. Not someone across the hall, because we don't share any type of wall, right? There's a hallway in between us. That same thing happens with these 2 over here that are not adjacent. Look right here. They share a vertex, but the sides that are on angle 8 are this one and this one. The sides that are on angle 7 are this one and this one. So they don't share a side, therefore they're not adjacent, okay? Adjacent angles, they need to share a vertex and they need to share a side. That's why 2 and 3 and 5 and 6 are adjacent, but 7 and 8 are not. Let's take another look, okay? Vertical angles. So this is another type of angle that is based on their position, okay? 2 congruent angles across from each other in an intersection, okay? So this is actually the picture we just said was not adjacent. That's because they're vertical. Look, okay? 7 and 8 are across from each other when these 2 lines intersect. Okay, 7 and 8 are congruent angles, or they're equal. We'll learn about that in a second, right? These are equal angles that are across from each other. So are angles 9 and 10. This one down here and this one here. Those are both called vertical angles because they are across from each other. Not adjacent, not next to, but across, okay? Now let's look at A, B, C, and D, right? A, B, C, and D. Let's see which ones are across from each other. Well, I'll circle the first one, A, right? A is, well, not B, because that's adjacent. They share this line. Not D, because that's adjacent. They share this line. But angle C, yeah, angle B, angle A and C are vertical, okay? That leaves angle B. I'm going to use a square on that one. Angle B and angle D are both vertical as well, okay? So adjacent and vertical, that's 2 ways to pair up angles according to the location. They are either next to each other, that means adjacent, or they're vertical angles, that means they're across from each other. Okay, let's keep going. What else can we look at? Okay, so now these are angle pairs that are based on their size, okay? Now congruent might be a word you've heard before in math. It says angles that have the equal measurements, right? The key word here is equal, right? They have to have equal measurements. So angle D is 24 degrees. And angle L, even though it's facing a different way, right? This one's facing down, this one's sort of facing up. It's also 24 degrees. We can say those are congruent, right? They have an equal measure. We don't use the word equal when we're measuring angles. Instead, we say congruent. And there's a little sign that we use with them. It's an equal sign with a little tilde or a little squiggle line over it. And we can say angle D is congruent to angle L, all right? We don't have to use the word, the sign equal. We're going to use the sign with that little squiggly above it. That means that they're congruent, okay? Congruent angles, equal angles. That's pretty easy. How about complementary angles, okay? Complementary angles is two angles that add up to 90 degrees, right? Two angles, it's a pair of angles that add up to 90 degrees. Sort of like this, okay? We have one that's 60, we want to have one that's 30, we have one that's 20. Okay, wait a minute. They got three angles here. Are any of those complementary? Well, let me think. 60 plus 20 is only 80, so those can't be complementary. 20 plus 30 is only 50. That's not 90, yes, those aren't complementary. 60 and 30, that's 90. Therefore, A and C are complementary angles, okay? A and C are complementary angles. Angle B, or 20 degrees, that would need an angle that was 70. 20 plus 70 would give us 90 to make it complementary, okay? Now, we also might see a picture like this, okay? This little box down here, okay, is telling us that this is a right angle, or that it's 90 degrees. Therefore, F and H must add up to 90. Angle F plus angle H must equal 90. Now, I don't know what they are, okay? I don't know exactly what they are. Like, this one might be 50, this one might be 40, this could be 80, this could be 10, okay? I don't know what they are, but I do know that they create a perfect right angle, so I can say that they are complementary angles, right? Okay, last one is going to be, right, finding the complement, all right? So if I have an angle and I'm looking for its complement, I'm looking for what is the rest that I need to get up to 90. Like, find the value of y, okay, of the complement when x is equal to 25. Let's think about this. I'm looking for the complement when x equals 25 degrees. So how much more do I need to get up to 90? Well, I'm going to grab my calculator, right? If I'm at 90, because it's a complement, I'm going to subtract 25, and I see that y must be 65 degrees, because that's what's left over to make it equal to 90. Same thing down here. Find the complement when y is equal to 81. I'll draw a little picture. I have 90 degrees. I'm going to make this one y, I'm going to make this one x, and this is 81 degrees. I'll grab my calculator again. I'm looking for the complement, so 90, minus 81 that's already used, and I'm getting 9 degrees. I guess I probably could have figured that out in my head. I was too focused on using the calculator, okay? All right, so that's how you find your complement. Let's look at the last one. The last pair of angles based on their size is supplementary. Supplementary, two angles that add up to 180 degrees, right? 60 plus 110. That's only 170. 60 plus 120. That's 180, okay? If that's 180, that means that these two are supplementary angles, okay? 110 would be needing 70 degrees, okay? Now, you might see it like this, okay? A straight line like this one, okay, means it's 180 degrees broken into two angles. One acute angle, one obtuse angle. Those must equal 180. angle A plus angle B equals 180 degrees, okay? Now, to find the supplement, which is the word that's used for supplementary angles, we're just going to subtract from 180, okay? If x is equal to 125. Now, I know this isn't complementary because it doesn't look like this. This has to be supplementary. So 180, okay, 180 is the whole picture. So 180 minus the 125, 180 minus 125, that must mean we have 55 left over, okay? Do the last one here together. Find the supplement, that means out of 180, when y is equal to 36. Well, I'm going to do the opposite this time. I'm going to take 180, I'm going to subtract the 36, and I get a total of x must equal 144 degrees. Because it mentions supplement, I knew that meant supplementary, and I could make it out of 180, okay? Now, that's all we're going to do today. I know it was a quick note sheet. Do your best. Go back and fill some stuff in if you need to rewind the video or hear a different part again, all right? And then make sure you're working on the worksheet. That's going to be the assignment that goes along with this video, all right? Guys, don't forget, can you answer the essential question, how are pairs of angles created, all right? Have a great day. Thanks so much.